What is going on, everybody? So, this month I planned on doing different types of videos just because I figured it would be more refreshing. And today, with any kind of script or planning, I decided to talk about a specific anime that has been important to me since I was about 6 years old. Now, I don't really currently watch anime anymore. I'm not into One Piece or Hunter x Hunter or Demon Slayer or anything like that. A lot of family members tell me about different types of anime I should watch, but a lot of anime I just don't have time for. I usually spend my time playing video games or watching live action films or foreign films. But the one anime that I have currently watched, and I call it manime, that is Baki Hanma. Now, the reason why I've been watching this anime is because it recently resurfaced in the past 3 to 4 years in America. And the last time I saw Baki Hanma or any kind of manga or anime about it was Grappler Baki. And that was that short 30 to 40 minute film where Baki fights Suedo and that other dude that cuts cords. Now, I'm not even sure if those characters are canon to the story because they never appeared in the current resurfaced, but they could have been in Son of Ogre or something like that. I haven't seen the entire Son of Ogre series where Baki is younger, but I have seen the new ones where him and his friends fight the 5 criminals that are trying to seek defeat or know how it is to lose. And I found that reintroduction to the series to be extremely refreshing. The fact that it doesn't act like any other anime in that type of way really gave me some kind of resurgence and a new type of feeling with anime in general. Now, I'm not going to watch any more anime besides Baki Hanma. That's really the only one I specifically watch because I'm into bodybuilding and going to the gym, being fit. So watching something like Baki Hanma makes more sense for me personally. And sure, there are other animes that focus on that kind of stuff, but I feel like Baki Hanma, in a way, it mostly has the story in the fighting. And just like with Dragon Ball Z, that reigns true with the Baki Hanma series. Now, the only thing I don't like about the current Baki Hanma anime is the fact that they just keep changing the name. Son of Ogre, Baki, Baki Hanma. It's kind of confusing. You kind of have to search the name Baki and remember what you were up to or what the last episode entailed. So you can just continue wherever the fuck you were at with this Baki Hanma show. And I heard there's another one that's coming out that has a different name. So anyway, I currently watched the last season, as far as I know, of Baki Hanma. But it's not the last, it's the latest season. And it's where Yojiro Hanma and Baki finally fight. The clash of the titans or demons or whatever you want to call them. And it was honestly everything I wanted from the fight with Yojiro and Baki. It was the clash of father and son, and the fact that Baki made it into a domestic fight opposed to just fighters was really something special. He wanted them to naturally just argue and get into a fight and use their natural energy to see where it goes and to see how the fight goes. And the fight goes in many different directions, and it was so satisfying to watch. I truly believe that Baki is like the perfect anime. I just love the fighting in it. I love how they explain everything, how every step every character takes is extremely important. And I think that reigns true to reality. Every step that we take is important. Every person we know, everything we learned along the way is important, and giving respect to all of those things, to all those people that we've learned from and lived with is the most important part of life. And the fact that Baki Hanma pays homage to a lot of these aspects of life that we kind of look away from. It looks towards forgiveness no matter what. And with American culture, it mostly looks towards revenge. And I do think that is true with the Baki Hanma series. It is about appreciating the people that you fought with and fought against, and to forgive them along the way. That is something that is very different from a lot of American culture, but very common with anime. Now, something else that's very common with anime is pervy stuff, and that's the main reason why I don't watch anime. It's something that is very consistent with anime, and I feel like the only pervy thing in Baki was the fact that he was going to have sex with his girlfriend and his father said that he needed to do it in order to become stronger. It's sort of like this ritualistic thing instead of this pervy thing. So I even think that love and sex in Baki Hanma isn't as overblown and unrealistic as it usually is with anime. Now, I want to talk because one of the first and only animes that I used to pay attention to from middle school to high school was Gantz. Gantz was a big part of my life, and I thought it perfectly represented a teenager's life. how really the only thing you think about is the opposite sex and where you're going with your life and the fact that you just make irresponsible, immature choices day by day. But Gantz is a very, very pervy anime, but it doesn't hold back with that. It just straight up goes into whatever pervy nonsense there is. It doesn't hide behind some kind of 90-year-old, 15-year-old or something like that. It straight up just says, well, I'm a young boy and I need to get a girlfriend. Or some kind of teenager is depressed about being a virgin or something like that. That was where I started with my kind of anime retrospect. Well, not really. I started with the classics, but with really picking it up by myself, Gantz was the main manga and anime that I used to read and watch for the majority of my time with anime in general. So when Gantz Zero came out on Netflix, I completely lost my shit. But since then, I haven't really watched anime at all. But with Baki Hanma, it's kind of surreal how popular it's getting and how many people know about it. And that really enabled me to make this video and just to talk about my time with Baki Hanma in my past and how it influenced me throughout the years. But with Baki, everything was kind of different. Like the style of characters, the fact that they focus so much on physique, training. It's so much of a manime, it's ridiculous. And for the years, a lot of people have been accustomed to typical anime that has a skinny looking character that kind of looks like a teenager, but is supposed to be in his mid-20s or something like that. That's the sort of typical anime that I grew up with for the majority. But with Baki Hanma, it's always been the pinnacle of manime, just like with Dragon Ball Z. But even with Dragon Ball Z, it has some of those weird themes that I try to avoid. When I was a teenager, I didn't really care. Any kind of theme was okay. I didn't really have any kind of specific compass as to what kind of media I wanted to watch or stay away from. I'm not saying anime is like the worst thing ever, but anime has been getting progressively more sketch. And to me, it's basically formulaic. You can kind of predict what's going to happen in the story with what certain characters. No doubt that the main character is going to unlock some kind of hidden power in order to beat one character or another, and he's going to have some kind of weird crush on a character throughout the entire series, and most likely going to simp for them episode to episode. And it just gets old, this tedium of teenage mentality. And I feel like I've grown apart, way apart from teenage mentality and how anime portrays each individual character. Over exaggeration of expression, ridiculous amount of shyness, and a whole lot of rage. But with Baki Hanma, a lot of characters focus on the fact that you need to stay calm, be vigilant, and strong. Baki Hanma is a very different type of anime, and I feel like it is one of the best out there. Now, I know it is just a transformative experience when it comes to most anime, but I just can't believe for the most part it's where it is with its popularity. Since the early 1990s, Japan has been trying to push Baki Hanma to the mainstream. Well, for the most part, just the creator of Baki. And it's weird because the person who made Baki makes sort of feminine manga and anime that express passion with dancing and just the movement of a person and how important it is. So when it comes to something like ballet compared to Baki Hanma, it's a very different facet, and if you follow the creator of Baki Hanma, you'll start to realize that they're into very strange things or unusual things compared to other anime directors and creators, especially a creator like Okuhiroya, which made Gantz. Now, I'm not exactly sure who made Baki Hanma because I don't follow it to a T like that, or like I did with Gantz. But it is obvious that Baki Hanma is something very special, and it's awesome to see other YouTubers get into the persona of Yujiro Hanma, Baki, and other characters in the series. Mainly bodybuilders are getting into it, and they say that they look just like the characters, which they do, but it's awesome for them to push the series even further with its popularity by donning the persona of these unusual yet powerful characters. And in one of those last episodes in Baki Hanma, they explained how they couldn't believe the popularity and how many people knew about Yujiro and Baki. It's almost like the creator couldn't believe how popular Baki was in general and how far the series has come since about 20-something years before in the 90s when they first introduced it. And I was in the same exact page while I was watching the fight. I just couldn't believe how popular Baki has become over the past 5 years alone. And it's just amazing to me how the series just refused to die because its message was just that true. Those last episodes really were the pinnacle of manime to me. But I will most likely never forget this anime for the rest of my life. It has actually taught me a lot of things, and I'm sure there's going to be people that recommend this or that anime, but I'm really just not going to take the risk with any other anime. This is the only anime I've ever took seriously besides Gantz and all of those other ones when I was a teenager. But now that I've grown, I've just lost interest. But I'm so happy to see Baki Hanma grow from such humble beginnings to its astounding popularity today. And thank you guys so much for watching. And let me know what you think about the Baki Hanma anime. Have you finished it? But yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Later.
Hanma,
Yes?
keep on winning.
Thanks!
"お前のキックがあいつをぶちのめす」